All right, good evening. Again, sorry about the delay. We had to change the whole stage around, bring out the grand piano, and tune everybody. I really apologize. We're going to get you started real quick. We're playing 4 James Swearingen pieces this evening. We are playing, first this will be a Carl King march that was arranged by Mr. Swearingen. This is called Prestissimo. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you, thank you. Next, we're going to bring on our amazing guest conductor. Let me tell you, these last 2 days have been an absolute joy to have Mr. Swearingen here. We have students that make honors band a lot, and they have the ability to go travel to a place like University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, UNCG, or so on and so forth. And the clinicians are there. So it's very awesome to have the chance to have the clinician to come to us. And it's been a real blessing for me and for the kids here at South Granville, and I know at Holly as well. So without further ado, we're gonna bring back Mr. James Swearingen.
Once again, I'm delighted to be here tonight. It's always a wonderful privilege to conduct young people, but it's equally rewarding to conduct the big kids, you know, and these young people play so wonderfully and do my music such great service. I'm so proud of that. This piece that you're about to listen to was commissioned and premiered in Morganton, North Carolina. It was commissioned and premiered in 1990, when I was just a child myself. And so it's what's special about when you write music. If you are blessed and if you are fortunate that something that is written in 1990 can still be played today and appreciated by such a wonderful ensemble and a great conductor. This piece, just simply to tell you what it's about, I had, prior to writing the piece, a teacher had sent me a project that she had done in her class. She had played a piece of music of mine for the students, and she asked the students to write out a story of what they thought the piece was about. course, we got, 30 different variations of the story for a single piece, but that was okay, because I think it's wonderful that they're using their imaginations. And so she sent me all the stories so I could read. So when I was working on Blue Ridge Saga, I thought, why don't I do that? Why don't I write a story in my mind and see if I could write music that would describe the story? So basically, the opening of the piece takes place at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in a town, probably like Morganton, and a grandchild is sitting on the lap of a grandparent. And the grandchild says to the grandparent, "What was it like when you were a child and lived in this town?" And the grandparent begins to tell the story of what her childhood was like. And so you'll hear this opening kind of section, and then it goes back in time. All of a sudden, we're transformed, and we're back in perhaps maybe the early 1900s, and the music is reflective of that generation. Now, with any period of history, there's the good times and there's the bad times. So there's a little section that follows that reflects on the bad times. And I don't know what the bad times would be, other than, if there was a storm or a flood, or, you have to use your imagination as well. And then we go back into the theme, and then we get to the middle section. As I told the students, the moral of the story is, from a symmetry standpoint, the middle section is all about the Blue Ridge Mountains, the beauty and the glory of the mountains. And even though we go back in time, and then after the middle section we come back into present time, I told the students, the beauty of the mountains, we can only hope, never changes. Whether it's 20 years from now, 100 years from now, we hope the mountain will stay there and remain beautiful for generations and generations of people. And then in my own grand fashion, I imagine myself as Steven Spielberg. And when we get to the very end of the piece, you'll hear this very dramatic ending. And if you can imagine the camera kind of going over to the window and looking up at the Blue Ridge Mountains, that's the dramatic effect right there. So we hope you enjoy Blue Ridge Saga.
The next piece we're going to play is a piece that we played at Music Performance Adjudication, which is a festival that many bands go to throughout the state, and you're rated on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being superior, 2 excellent, 3 average, 4 below average, and 5 poor. And we played this piece as one of our 3 that were chosen, and we received straight superior ratings from all of the judges. So we hope you enjoy James Swearingen's The Light Eternal. very much. This last piece we're going to play is a very, it's a great composition. It's actually a grade higher than we're used to playing. This is a North Carolina State grade 5 piece, which means it's pretty difficult. So we had to get Mr. Swearingen in to help us with it. So for the last time, please welcome back Mr. James Swearingen.
Ladies and gentlemen, much like Mr. Dixon, I have another friend that I've met here during my 2-day journey back to the state of North Carolina. And it's like going home with presents. So I'm taking home a friendship here that I hope will be a long-lasting friendship. I hope we'll stay in communication. I hope and pray that I'll get to conduct this ensemble again, because this has been a real treat, a real privilege to conduct such a wonderful, fine, and outstanding ensemble. And all because of one gentleman here who works so hard. And his input of inviting me down is greatly appreciated. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
Oh, hey. Again, thank all of you for coming out. We're going to announce this 50-50. Is that what it is? Okay, cool. I'm sorry. We're going to announce this 50-50 winner real quick. Again, I want to apologize for the delay in our start. We're working on trying to smooth out the transitions and things. So again, I apologize. I'm glad you stayed around to hear and see Mr. James Swearingen. Let me, I'd like to draw the number.